What's going on, guys? It's Vu back with another video, and my apologies for this current low light situation, but it's about 6:10 in the morning. I woke up at 5 a.m. I was looking to start driving around 5:30 and getting on the water around 6. Fishing for snakehead this morning, or at least trying to. Closest body of water to my house that has snakehead is half an hour away. But clearly it is now 6:10, 6:11, and I'm probably not gonna get on the water until like 6:35 because, of course, a little bit delayed. I was trying to keep things simple, pack a little bit lighter, not take too much crap with me, and keep my lure selection a little more simple than I had before, because all these other trips I've gone to that I've never actually recorded, but never did anything with the video because I didn't catch anything. Probably not gonna catch anything today either. I don't have any giddy feeling about today in terms of catching fish, but yeah, I felt giddy those other days, so I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I didn't catch any fish on those days I felt giddy, so hopefully, it's just whatever. If you catch fish that day, you catch fish that day. There's no fan. But yeah, I'm gonna try to post this video regardless if I catch anything. So that's that. I had all these things packed up. I plan on just keeping things simple. Obviously with snakehead, it's top water. It's the most popular thing, so I'm gonna try to use a regular top water and a noisy top water. What I mean by that is like a standard, walking frog, and then also like a popping frog or some other popping lure. And then subsurface, I'll just do like a fluke or standard swim bait. And if I want something noisier, then I'll go for a chatterbait or something like that. So just 4 or 5 choices. And the goal here is to just get as many casts as possible. I think sometimes we overcomplicate things, and after about 10 casts, it's like, oh, I'm gonna switch baits. I think sometimes you just gotta get the cast out there. Just cast. Work on your presentation, and if the fish is there, the fish is there. If he wants to bite, he'll bite. So, part of that, this lake is not too weedy like most snakehead spots that most people go to. So, I just opted for a 7-foot medium and a 6.5 medium. Both mediums, just because I want to maximize my casting distance. One, and it just helps get my lure out there in front of fish from the shore. And I do have a kayak, but a nice one too. It just takes some time to load, and I don't have that much time today. I have right now probably looking at 2.5 hours. If I took the kayak, I'll probably have maybe an hour and a half in the water, maybe max 2 hours if I'm quick. But it's kind of tough getting the yak out of this lake, loading it back, unloading, and all that stuff. And then I started driving after I loaded everything up that I needed, and then next thing you know, I realized I forgot my waders, my wading boots, so wasted another 15 minutes just to go back to get it and get back on the road. But hopefully I could get on the water before the sun starts peeking over the tree line, and I'm gonna hope for the best today. Originally I was going to go to this spot first, but because I was running late, I wasn't going to go. But it seems like God has blessed me with some overcast this morning. So yeah, he blessed me with this morning of waking up, but then he also blessed me with a little bit of overcast, a little bit of fog. So what that does is it extends the the sunset time a little bit more. I mean the sunrise time a little bit more. And sunrise means that overcast, might increase the chance of a bite. And the reason why I wasn't trying to go out there when it's super, after 6:30 on this particular spot, is because the sun will get all up in your face. But right now, it's not going to be that way, because there's some cloud cover, so I could actually fish here. Because last time I was here, right around 7 o'clock, what happens is the sun comes out and it starts blinding me. And pretty much that kind of ends the topwater bite. And I think snakehead, differently than bass, is they'll eat topwater all day. It just depends if they feel like eating or not. But you know, the bass, they usually hit topwater like about early in the morning. Just tying on this lure real quick. I took a couple of steps out in my car with like my regular sneakers on. Forgot to put on my waders, and like immediately just stepping on just like grass, my toes got wet. So just for all you bank fishermen out there, it's really important to get some nice like waterproof boots. Mine are pretty tall, definitely a little bit over a foot. So at least you get to get out the water, and then also you don't have to be all uncomfortable freaking walking around with wet ass shoes giving you blisters and everything. But yeah, this is a short walk out here, and hope for the best. And hopefully I don't get a face full of spider webs. Probably will. But gotta get on this water in a second. So the reason why this spot is tough is once that sun comes out, it beats up on your face. So I'm probably gonna start moving. There was some fish activity there, likely bass, because it's kind of moving from shallower and shallower to deeper and deeper. So that's not really what snakehead do. So yeah, I'm gonna move over this way. That bright ass sun coming out. Should have left here a while ago. Just sometimes stubborn with fishing spots, but yeah, we're gonna go to the next spot now. Meanwhile, while I'm here, I gotta tie a new leader. I just don't have enough. So I actually use braid for casting distance, and I use a mono leader for the stretch. And I just pretty much use a uni knot to tie on the leader.
But yeah. Why do I not tie on straight braid? Well, like I said, there's a stretch tractor and braid is visible. So if I'm trying to do subsurface lures, I do want the lure to be invisible, so that's why I use mono instead of braid. And then, you know, also if I want to use top water, mono and braid both float, whereas fluoro does not float. That's why I use braid mainline for casting distance, and I use mono for visibility for subsurface lures, and of course mono for invisibility for subsurface lures, and still it floats almost as good as braid for top water. And there's more abrasion resistance in mono compared to braid, so if I'm pulling the fish out of cover, all that muck that snakehead is usually in is better than braid, and also is better than braid for teeth. Thicker line equals more abrasion resistance. It's not about how much pound test. That's what I read anyway, or that's what I watched anyway on YouTube. Got the knot. Yeah, this uni, every time I've ever like got snagged a lure and I like broke my line, it never broke at my leader. So just for any of you that are curious, the uni knot braid to mono, strong. Surprisingly, it's stronger than the knot to my lure, so that's a bonus. So I am now walking back to my car and going to the next spot. Yeah, it's I got about hour 15 minutes left, and I just gotta drive like a minute, repark, and just get out. So yep. Nothing is ever easy about getting to these fishing spots. You always gotta watch out for spider webs. Like this one, you can see it. Alright, just making sure. Yeah, it's always a bit of a hike, and you gotta walk through a dang jungle. But there's something rewarding about bank fishing. You know, it kind of takes you back to your childhood of when you used to go fishing with like your family, your dad, your uncle, whatever. This area is just a little bit too open water. Except I just saw a fish boil, so I'm gonna just go ahead and get a line out anyway. Every time I see like a fish boil, I end up wasting half an hour fishing the area for no freaking reason, because the fish don't end up never biting. But never learn my lesson. Alright, so you couldn't tell already from the video, I am done for the day. And yeah, didn't catch a dang thing. Sometimes when I come out here I'll catch a bass or something. Yeah, I consider myself a snakehead fisherman, and I have not caught one snakehead in my life. I've taken out my dad. He's caught a snakehead when I've taken him out on a fishing trip with me, which is great. But yeah, I never caught one myself. And to be quite honest, this just leads me to something that I've been thinking about for quite a while, and there's not really much doubt in my mind that I will eventually catch a snakehead. It's just, so around where I am, and most places that hold northern snakehead, they are considered an invasive species. They're introduced here illegally, whatever means, and I'm not going to discuss here at this moment. Everyone knows. I guess they're dropped into some pond somewhere in Maryland, and they spread since 2004 or so. They've been in these waters for over 20 years, about 20 years now, almost. And people say they kind of like kill the ecosystem and all that stuff, and like they're bad for other fish. But the reality is, bass still thriving. All I saw was a bunch of bluegill. Every time I go out to other bodies of water, like, there's frogs everywhere. I guess blackwater might be an exception. Blackwater is like this brackish water area that holds a lot of snakehead, and somebody was saying, they killed off like perch or whatever, but there might be other reasons for that, because other bodies of water, even lakes, small ponds that hold snakehead, usually will yield you more bass when you go fishing. So there's that. You can't say that they destroy ecosystem when every time you go, like, you target snakehead, like me. I'm not catching any, but I catch other fish. So that's that. And I think it's fine that you see other guys on YouTube and Facebook and stuff catching snakehead, and it's great, right? Problem is, like, kind of greedy. So yeah, snakehead is invasive, and in my opinion, they're not as invasive as people say they are. Matter of fact, like, I think they're in Hawaii, and after a while they just realized that snakehead are actually coexisting with other animals, other fish, and they actually deemed them a non-invasive species over there in Hawaii, northern snakehead. But here, these bass fishermen just love their bass habitat, even though bass fishing here in Maryland, the Mid-Atlantic, for the most part, has not changed since the past 38 years, which is as long as I've been alive, with or without snakehead. So, they say if you catch a snakehead, you cannot take them live. You have to kill them before you transport them. But, you don't have to kill them on the spot. At least here in Maryland, you can release them in the same body of water that you caught it. You just can't, transport them and release them live into another body of water, or dead. Obviously there's no limit to how many you take. And there's my problem, is that they're good eating. And I understand people want to take them and eat, show off, whatever. But you have to be responsible with that stuff, man. I see guys going to taking like small ass juvenile snakehead. Like, what are you gonna eat with that? It's like this tiny snakehead that you'll probably maybe make half a sandwich with. Especially the way Americans eat fish, where they just like fillet meat. Like, put those back, you know, like, look, I know they're invasive, but like I said, they're not doing anything to like this ecosystem like people, you know, some people think they do. And at least it makes fishing a little more enjoyable around here, because the mid-Atlantic area, Maryland, like before snakehead, like is not really known for like excellent fishing. Like the bass aren't that big. 2 to 3 pounders is like pretty regular. You're not gonna get like 10 pounders and stuff the way you do in Florida and Texas. You know, other fish like saltwater fish, most of the year you got to go out on a boat and stuff, and that stuff gets expensive. So in terms of like shore fishing opportunities and stuff, like Maryland is actually trash. But because of snakeheads, people actually come from out of state, other places, to come here to fish for northern snakehead, catch and release, and take to eat and stuff, harvest. But in my opinion, you know, if you like snakehead fishing and you consider yourself a snakehead angler, like, you should stop taking small ass snakehead, and also stop taking big ass snakehead, because they don't really taste good anyway. You know, be responsible. You know, take like the ones that are like 20 inches, between 20 and like 26 inches, 28 inches, and you could eat those, you know, and take, you know, 1 or 2. Like, you don't need to like fill up a freezer. Like, how much fish can you actually eat? Like, just be responsible. You like snakehead fishing, you want to keep doing it, you want to have more opportunities to fish it, like, don't just like take small ass fish, and don't take the big ass fish that, you know, people catch later on that, you know, they're gonna be like 36, 40 inches, you know what I mean? But hey, to each their own. I hope the opinions change soon, because I wouldn't mind catching like 2 or 3 snakehead at a time, but then putting them back and stuff, you know what I mean? Catch and release and stuff, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, I hope I actually post this up, but yeah, unsuccessful fishing journey. I'm going to post more fishing videos regardless if I catch or not, just so you can follow on my unsuccessful journeys of catching snakehead. Hopefully I'll catch one soon, God willing. But yeah, till next time, guys, lighten up.